When installing a 100 amp breaker with two AWG SE cable to feed a 100 amp subpanel and the neutral bar terminals in the dwelling unit's 200 amp panel are not large enough for the two AWG aluminum SE cable conductor, a specific wiring method should be followed to ensure safe and code compliant installation. The core issue is the incompatibility between the existing neutral bar terminals and the size of the two AWG aluminum SE cable conductor. The neutral bar in the main panel must be capable of accepting the conductor size used for the feeder to the subpanel. When this is not the case, directly connecting the neutral conductor to the existing bar is not permissible. The approved solution is to install a separate neutral block or lug that is properly sized to accept the two AWG aluminum SE cable. This neutral block or lug is then connected to the existing neutral bus bar within the main panel. Here's a detailed explanation of the wiring method. Firstly, ensure that the main breaker in the 200 amp panel is turned off and the power is disconnected to ensure safety during the installation process. Use appropriate personal protective equipment, including safety glasses and gloves. Secondly, carefully examine the existing neutral bar in the 200 amp panel. Identify a suitable location to mount the new neutral block or lug. The location should provide sufficient clearance and accessibility for the two AWG aluminum SE cable to be connected. Thirdly, select a neutral block or lug that is specifically rated for the intended use. The neutral block or lug must be rated for a minimum of 100 amps, which corresponds to the rating of the subpanel breaker. Additionally, it must be designed to accommodate the two AWG aluminum SE cable conductor size. Ensure that the neutral block or lug is listed and labeled by a recognized testing laboratory such as Underwriters Laboratories or Electrical Testing Laboratories to ensure it meets safety and performance standards. Fourthly, securely mount the neutral block or lug to the neutral bus within the 200 amp panel. Use appropriate hardware, such as screws or bolts, to ensure a reliable and mechanically sound connection. The mounting location should provide a solid electrical connection between the neutral block or lug and the neutral bus. Fifthly, prepare the two AWG aluminum SE cable conductor for termination. Remove the outer jacket of the SE cable to expose the neutral conductor. Carefully strip the insulation from the end of the neutral conductor, using a wire stripper tool to the appropriate length as specified by the neutral block or lug manufacturer. Avoid nicking or damaging the conductor strands during the stripping process. Sixthly, connect the stripped end of the two AWG aluminum SE cable neutral conductor to the neutral block or lug. Follow the manufacturer's instructions for the proper termination method. Typically, this involves inserting the conductor into the terminal opening and tightening a set screw to secure the connection. Ensure that the connection is tight and that the conductor is fully seated within the terminal. Use a torque wrench to tighten the set screw to the manufacturer's specified torque value. This helps to ensure a reliable and long-lasting connection. Seventhly, after connecting the neutral conductor to the neutral block or lug, carefully inspect the connection to ensure that it is secure and that there are no loose strands of wire. Use electrical tape to insulate any exposed portions of the conductor or terminal. Ensure that all connections are properly insulated to prevent accidental contact or short circuits. Eighthly, once all connections have been made and inspected, carefully route and secure the two AWG aluminum SE cable within the 200 amp panel. Use cable ties or other approved methods to support the cable and prevent it from being subjected to excessive strain. Ensure that the cable is routed in a manner that does not obstruct access to other components within the panel. Ninthly, after the wiring is complete, thoroughly inspect all connections and components to ensure that they are properly installed and secured. Verify that all screws and bolts are tightened to the manufacturer's specified torque values. Use a multimeter to verify the continuity of the neutral conductor and to ensure that there are no short circuits or ground faults. Tenthly, after the inspection is complete, turn the main breaker in the 200 amp panel back on and verify that the subpanel is receiving power. Use a voltmeter to measure the voltage at the subpanel and ensure that it is within the acceptable range. Test the operation of the subpanel by turning on and off various circuits. By following these steps, a safe and code-compliant installation can be achieved, even when the existing neutral bar terminals are not suitable for the 2AWG aluminum SE cable conductor. The National Electrical Code, or NEC, provides specific requirements for electrical installations, including those involving subpanels and neutral connections. It is essential to adhere to these requirements to ensure the safety of the installation and to prevent electrical hazards. The NEC addresses conductor sizing, overcurrent protection, grounding, and bonding requirements. The NEC mandates that the neutral conductor must be sized appropriately for the load it will carry. In the case of a 100 amp subpanel, the neutral conductor must be capable of carrying the maximum unbalanced load. The NEC specifies requirements for grounding and bonding of electrical systems. Grounding refers to connecting the electrical system to the earth, while bonding refers to connecting various metal parts of the electrical system together. Grounding and bonding help to provide a low impedance path for fault current to flow back to the source, which helps to trip the overcurrent protection device and energize the circuit. The NEC specifies requirements for overcurrent protection, such as circuit breakers and fuses. Overcurrent protection devices are designed to protect electrical circuits from overloads and short circuits. The overcurrent protection device must be sized appropriately for the conductor it is protecting. The NEC provides tables that specify the allowable ampacity of conductors based on their size, insulation type, and installation conditions. In addition to the NEC, local electrical codes and regulations may also apply to electrical installations. It is important to check with the local authority having jurisdiction, OJ, to determine any additional requirements. The AHA is responsible for enforcing the electrical code and ensuring that electrical installations are safe and compliant. The AHA may require permits and inspections for electrical work. Permits are required to ensure that the electrical work is performed by qualified individuals and that it meets the requirements of the electrical code. Inspections are conducted to verify that the electrical work has been performed correctly and that it is safe to energize. When installing a subpanel, it is important to consider the location of the subpanel and the environment in which it will be installed. The subpanel should be located in a dry, accessible location. It should not be installed in a damp or wet location, as this could create a shock hazard. The subpanel should also be installed in a location where it is protected from physical damage. The subpanel should be mounted securely to a wall or other suitable support. The subpanel should be installed at a height that is accessible for maintenance and repair. The subpanel should be labeled clearly to indicate its purpose and the circuits it serves. The subpanel should be inspected regularly to ensure that it is in good working order. Any damaged or worn component should be replaced immediately. The subpanel should be kept clean and free of debris. When working on electrical systems, it is important to follow safe work practices. Always disconnect the power before working on any electrical equipment. Use appropriate personal protective equipment, such as safety glasses and gloves. Work in a well-lit area and avoid distractions. If you are not comfortable working on electrical systems, hire a qualified electrician. A qualified electrician has the knowledge, skills, and experience to perform electrical work safely and correctly. Hiring a qualified electrician can help to ensure that your electrical system is safe and reliable. In summary, when the neutral bar terminals in the dwelling unit's 200 amp panel are not large enough for the 2AWG aluminum SE cable conductor, the proper wiring method is to install a neutral block or lug on the neutral bus and connect the neutral cable to the block or lug. The neutral block or lug should be rated for a minimum of 100 amps. Always adhere to the NEC and local electrical codes and regulations. Follow safe work practices and hire a qualified electrician if needed. By following these guidelines, a safe and code-compliant installation can be achieved.